The dragon tattoo coiling up Min Jae's neck seemed to mock him now, a symbol of power on a man who felt like nothing. When the curvy black doctor pushed past his guards with those fearless eyes and asked the question that would shatter his world, "Can I test it?" He realized some women don't ask permission to save you. Before we dive into Act 1, if you found this hook intriguing, smash that like button, drop a comment telling me what you think will happen next, and subscribe so you never miss these emotional stories. Now, let's begin. Min Jae Park stared at the ceiling of his private quarters, the chrome fixtures reflecting the Seoul skyline through floor-to-ceiling windows. The dragon tattoo that marked him as the youngest head of the Baek Ho syndicate seemed to pulse against his neck, a constant reminder of power he no longer felt. 3 months. 90 days since the ambush in Busan. 90 days since the bullet that didn't kill him did something worse. His phone buzzed. Another doctor? Another specialist flown in from God knows where, promising miracles? He'd seen 12 already, each left with fat envelopes and fearful eyes, swearing secrecy about the great Min Jae Park's condition. Boss. His Lieutenant Tae Hyun knocked softly. The new medical consultant is here from Atlanta, Dr. Monroe. Min Jae's jaw tightened. I said no more. Sir, this one. She insisted, pushed past security, said if you were too scared to try, she'd leave. Something flickered in Min Jae's chest. Scared? Him? Send her away. I tried. She's already in the medical suite. Set up equipment. Said she's giving you 10 minutes to show up or she's gone. Across the compound, Dr. Zelda Monroe unpacked her specialized diagnostic tools with practiced efficiency. Her full hips bumped the medical table as she moved, a reminder of every cruel comment, every passed-over promotion, every man who'd chosen someone smaller. But medicine didn't care about her curves. Bodies didn't heal differently because of her size, and broken men needed help regardless of who offered it. She'd read the file: bullet wound, severed nerves, psychological trauma. The specialists had all focused on the physical. None had addressed the obvious. Min Jae Park was terrified. The door opened. A mountain of a man entered, 6'3" of controlled violence wrapped in a black Tom Ford suit. The dragon tattoo coiled from his collar to his jawline, intricate scales catching the light. His eyes were empty. You have 5 minutes, he said, voice like gravel. Then you leave like the others. Zelda turned, meeting his gaze without flinching. I'm not like the others. And we both know you're not afraid of death, Mr. Park. You're afraid of being half a man. The temperature in the room dropped. His hand moved toward his waist where she knew he kept a gun. Sit down, she said calmly. Or stay broken. Your choice. Min Jae should have shot her. Should have had Tae Hyun drag her out. Instead, he found himself sitting on the examination table, suit jacket discarded, watching this woman move around him like he wasn't the most dangerous man in Seoul. Tell me what happened, Zelda said, pulling on latex gloves. And I don't mean the bullet. I mean after. The other doctors failed you, I know. She stepped closer, her brown eyes unwavering. Because they treated the wound, not the man. They saw nerve damage and wrote prescriptions. But you don't need pills, Min Jae. You need to know you're still whole. His name in her mouth without the honorific, without fear. It startled him. You don't know what you're talking about. Don't I? She pulled up a stool, her thick thighs straining against her pencil skirt. I know what it's like to have people look at you and only see what's broken, what's not enough, what doesn't measure up. Her hand touched his knee. Professional, clinical, but something in that touch made his throat tight. The bullet severed the pudendal nerve, she continued, damaged the cavernosal tissue. But nerves regenerate, Min Jae, slowly, imperfectly, but they do. She paused. If you let them. I've felt nothing for 3 months. His voice cracked, a sound he hated. No sensation, no response, nothing. Because you're terrified to try. Zelda leaned forward, her cleavage visible in her white blouse, and Min Jae hated that even her closeness, stirred nothing. Your body shut down to protect you from disappointment, from shame. But your body isn't broken, Minjae. Your fear is. Then fix it. The words came out harsh, desperate. If you're so certain. Zelda stood, her curves moving with a confidence that made him ache. Not physically, but somewhere deeper. She walked to her medical bag, pulled out a small device. This is a neural stimulator. It'll tell us if the pathways are intact. She turned and something in her expression shifted. Softer, more vulnerable. But before I use it, I need you to understand something. What? This isn't just about your body working. It's about you believing you deserve to feel whole again, to feel pleasure, to feel loved. She swallowed. Do you believe that, Minjae? No one had asked him that. Not once. He didn't answer. Couldn't. This is a waste of time. Minjae stood abruptly, the movement sharp and final. You're just like the others. Pretty words, false hope. I never said it would be easy. Zelda didn't move from her position, didn't flinch at his anger. I said it was possible. There's a difference. You don't understand. I understand perfectly. Her voice cut through his. You've built an empire on being untouchable, unbreakable. And now something broke you in a way of bullets and rivals never could. So you'd rather hide behind anger than risk trying and failing again. Minjae's hand slammed against the medical table. You think you can psychoanalyze me after 10 minutes? I think you're scared. Zelda stood, moving into his space despite the danger, radiating off him. I think every doctor who's walked through that door reminded you of what you lost. I think you send them away before they can confirm your worst fear, that you'll never be the man you were. Get out. No. The word hung between them. Minjae's eyes widened. No one told him no. Ever. You want me gone? Call your men. Have them drag me out. Shoot me yourself. Zelda crossed her arms under her full chest. But you won't. Because somewhere in that broken heart of yours, you want to believe I'm right. Minjae's jaw worked. His fists clenched and unclenched. The dragon on his neck seemed to writhe with his breathing. Why do you care? He finally asked, voice low and dangerous. You don't know me. Don't owe me anything. Zelda's expression softened. Because I know what it's like to feel like your body betrayed you. To have people look at you and see only what's wrong. She touched her hip, her generous curves. I've spent my whole life being told I'm too much. Too big, too black, too different. And I learned something, Minjae. What? The only person whose opinion matters is yours, and right now you hate yourself. Until that changes, nothing I do will work. She picked up her bag. So when you're ready to stop being a coward, you know where to find me. She turned toward the door. Wait. Zelda paused, hand on the doorknob. She didn't turn around immediately, giving him space to find his words. I don't know how to do this. Minjae's voice was barely above a whisper. How to be vulnerable, how to hope again. She turned slowly. The fierce, curvy woman who'd challenged him now wore something gentler in her expression. Understanding. Then let me show you. She walked back, set her bag down. But we do this my way. Complete honesty. No hiding, no running when it gets hard. Minjae nodded stiffly. Take off your shirt. His hands moved to the buttons, fingers trembling slightly, a weakness he despised. The shirt fell away, revealing a body marked by violence. Scars crisscrossed his torso. The dragon tattoo continued down his shoulder blade, but beneath the ink and scars was muscle, strength, beauty. Zelda's breath caught. She was professional, clinical, but she was also human. And he was devastating. Lie down, she said softly. He complied, the vulnerability of the position making his skin prickle. She moved beside the table, the neural stimulator in hand. This might feel strange, tingling, maybe uncomfortable. Tell me everything you feel. Don't hide. Don't minimize. Her free hand rested on his chest, over his racing heart. I need complete honesty, Minjae. Okay. She activated the device, placing it carefully along the nerve pathways. Minjae's breath hitched. What do you feel? She asked. Tingling, like electricity. His eyes closed. But not there. Not where I need to. That's good. That means the pathways are responding. She moved the stimulator lower. The sensation has to rebuild. Gradually. It won't happen all at once. Minutes passed. She worked methodically, professionally, but Minjae was hyper-aware of her presence. The scent of her perfume, something warm and sweet. The way her breathing synced with his. The gentle pressure of her hand anchoring him. Zelda. Her name felt foreign on his tongue. Yes? Why are you really here? In Seoul. With me. He opened his eyes, finding hers. The truth. She hesitated, the stimulator pausing. When she spoke, her voice carried its own pain. Because 6 months ago, the man I loved left me for someone half my size. Told me I was beautiful, for a big girl. That he settled. She swallowed hard. And I needed to prove to myself that I'm enough. That broken people can still save each other. You're not broken, Minjae said fiercely. You're magnificent. Zelda's hand trembled. The stimulator slipped slightly and she had to recalibrate. No patient had ever called her magnificent. No man had ever looked at her the way Minjae was looking at her now, like she was the miracle, not the medicine. You don't know me, she whispered. Then tell me. And somehow in that sterile medical suite with a mafia boss lying vulnerable before her, Zelda found herself talking. Really talking. I was the fat black girl who became a doctor to prove everyone wrong, top of my class, published research, saved lives. Her voice cracked. But in his eyes, I was still just too much. He said my body embarrassed him at work functions, that his colleagues made jokes. Minjae sat up abruptly, ignoring her protests. He was a fool. Maybe, or maybe he was honest about what the world sees. The world is blind. Minjae's hand caught hers, the touch sending electricity through them both, and this time, not from any device. You walked into a room full of killers like you owned it. You challenged me when men twice your size pissed themselves in my presence. You touch me like I'm not a monster. You're not. I've killed people, Zelda, tortured them, built an empire on fear and blood. His thumb traced circles on her wrist. I am exactly the monster they say I am. But when you look at me, I feel clean. The confession hung between them. Zelda's medical training screamed that this was dangerous. Patient transference, emotional vulnerability, boundary violations. But her heart, that battered thing she'd locked away, was opening. The night I got shot, Minjae continued, I was meeting a woman. Someone my family approved of. Delicate, traditional. Everything a man like me should want. He laughed bitterly. The ambush happened because I was distracted, thinking about how empty I felt. How I was about to marry someone I didn't even like, just because she fit the image. What happened to her? She visited me once in the hospital, saw the injuries, the doctor's whispered prognosis. His jaw tightened. She left before I woke up. Her father called off the arrangement, said they couldn't have a broken man, dilute their bloodline. Zelda's heart shattered for him. Minjae? So we're both the rejected ones, he said. Both told we're not enough. Both trying to prove something to people who'll never see us. He pulled her hand to his chest, over his heart. Maybe that's why you're the only one who can help me. You understand. I do, she whispered. God help me, I do. The sessions became daily. Zelda moved into the compound's guest quarters, claiming it was for treatment continuity. Minjae arranged for her equipment to be upgraded, her favorite food stocked, her every comfort considered. But they both knew it was about more than medicine now. Tell me something real, Minjae said one evening, lying on the table as she worked. Something you've never told anyone. Zelda's hands paused on his skin, I used to pray to wake up thin, every night as a little girl. Thought God would fix me if I was good enough. She smiled sadly. Took me 30 years to realize I was never broken. You're perfect, Minjae said, and meant it. I'm scarred, damaged, afraid. So am I. He caught her hand. But maybe perfect is just two broken people choosing each other. She laughed, the sound wet with unshed tears. That's terrible logic. I'm a criminal, not a philosopher. The laughter broke something open between them. Zelda found herself telling him about her childhood in Atlanta, her family's disappointment when she chose medicine over marriage, her secret love of terrible romance novels. Minjae shared stories of growing up in Seoul's underground, the weight of inheriting his father's empire at 23, his hidden collection of classical music. Chopin? Zelda teased. Debussy, actually? He grinned, actually grinned, and the transformation was stunning. Don't tell my men. Ruins the image. Your secret's safe with me. As weeks passed, something shifted. Minjae started feeling flickers. Not full sensation, but promising signs, warmth, awareness, and something else, desire. Not just physical, but emotional. The desperate need to be near her, to hear her voice, to watch her move through his space like she belonged there. One night, after a particularly intensive session, Zelda nearly dropped her equipment. Minjae caught her, pulling her against him, and suddenly she was in his lap, her curves pressed against his hardness, his clothed, frustratingly unresponsive hardness. I'm sorry, she gasped. Don't be. His hand cupped her face, thumb tracing her full bottom lip. You're the most beautiful thing I've ever held. Minjae? I'm falling for you, he whispered. I know I shouldn't. I know this is impossible, but Zelda, you've given me more than hope for my body. You've given me hope for my heart. She kissed him, soft, tender, full of promise. I'm falling too. She breathed against his lips. So damn hard. The door exploded open. Tae Hyun burst in, 3 armed men behind him. Boss, we have a problem. He stopped, seeing Zelda in Minjae's arms. His expression darkened. Sir, I need to speak with you, now. Minjae carefully set Zelda aside, his jaw tight. This better be important. It is. Tae Hyun's eyes cut to Zelda with open hostility. Privately. In the hallway, surrounded by his men, Minjae felt the weight of his position settle back onto his shoulders. The brief respite of softness vanished. She's a plant, Tae Hyun said bluntly. Our contacts in Atlanta found her real employment history. She wasn't just fired from her last hospital, she was investigated for patient misconduct, inappropriate relationships, boundary violations. Minjae's blood ran cold. You're lying. I have documentation, photos, testimony. Tae Hyun handed over a tablet. She targets powerful men, gains their trust, then sells information to competitors. The man she claimed left her? He was a patient who filed charges. The images blurred. Official reports, legal documents, photos of Zelda with other men, senators, CEOs, criminals, all powerful, all vulnerable. I'll handle this, Minjae said, his voice dead. He returned to find Zelda cleaning up, humming softly. She looked up with that smile, the smile that had become his entire world. Everything okay? She asked. Who are you really? The question came out like a blade. Her smile faltered. What? Atlanta Medical Center, patient misconduct, investigations. Each word was a hammer blow. How long were you planning to play me? Get me dependent on you, then sell my secrets to the highest bidder? Zelda's face went ashen. Minjae, that's not... I can explain... Don't. He stepped back as she reached for him. Don't touch me. Don't say my name. Don't pretend this was real. It is real. Tears streamed down her face. Yes, I had problems in Atlanta. Yes, I crossed lines. But not for money, Minjae. I got involved with a patient because I was lonely and stupid and desperate to feel wanted. It destroyed my career, everything I worked for. And you came here for what? Redemption? A fresh start with another broken fool? I came here because I saw myself in you, she shouted. Because we're both people the world wrote off, both trying to prove we're more than our mistakes. I fell for you because you're real, Min-jae, because you see me. I don't see you at all, he said coldly. Get out. You have 1 hour to leave Seoul. If you're still here after that, I can't guarantee your safety. Min-jae, please, or go! Zelda's hotel room near Incheon Airport was as impersonal as her heartbreak. Packed bags sat by the door. Her flight left in 3 hours. She'd done the right thing, leaving. Min-jae had given her an out, and she'd taken it. Hadn't begged, hadn't fought harder. Because maybe that's what she deserved. To be cast aside when the truth came out. To be loved only until she became inconvenient. Her phone rang, unknown number. Dr. Monroe? A woman's voice. This is Ji-woo Park, Min-jae's sister. Zelda's breath caught. I don't think... My brother is destroying his office right now, literally. He's thrown everything against the walls except the one photo you gave him, that selfie you took together. A pause. He's in love with you, you idiot, and you ran. He told me to leave. He's a traumatized, emotionally stunted criminal who's never been vulnerable with anyone. Of course he pushed you away when he got scared. Ji-woo's voice softened. But you're a doctor. You know trauma responses. You know fear. Are you really going to let him sabotage the best thing that's ever happened to him? What if Taehyun was right? What if I'm just... Taehyun ran an investigation on you, and you know what he found? That you lost everything defending a patient who was being abused by hospital administration. That you violated protocol to protect someone powerless. That you were punished for having a conscience. Ji-woo laughed. You're exactly the kind of person my brother needs. Someone who breaks rules for the right reasons. Zelda closed her eyes. He said he doesn't see me. He was lying to protect himself. To protect you, maybe, from his world. A beat. But I know my brother. He's never looked at anyone the way he looks at you, like your heir, like your hope. What if he won't listen? Then make him. Ji-woo's voice turned fierce. You pushed past armed guards to get to him the first time. You challenged him when no one else dared. You made him believe he could be whole again. Don't give up now, Dr. Monroe, not when you're both so close. Min-jae sat in the ruins of his office, the photo clutched in his bleeding hand. Glass had cut his palm, but he didn't care. Zelda's face smiled up at him from the image. Radiant, beautiful, real. You're still alive, you fool, he muttered to himself. You can still feel. His phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. I'm not leaving Seoul, and I'm not leaving you. Conference room B, 1 hour. If you're man enough to hear the truth, show up. Z. His heart, that supposedly broken thing, thundered to life. Min-jae arrived at conference room B to find it transformed. Candles, soft music, Debussy, and Zelda standing in the center wearing a simple black dress that hugged every magnificent curve. You came, she said softly. You knew I would. I hoped. She took a breath. I need to tell you everything, the real story. Then you decide. She told him. All of it. The patient who'd been a victim of hospital corruption. How she'd fallen for him while helping him expose the truth. How they'd been caught and she'd been destroyed while he'd been protected by wealth and status. How she'd lost her license, her reputation, everything, except her integrity. I came to Seoul to disappear, she admitted, to start over where no one knew my name. But then I read your file and I saw something familiar. A powerful man who'd been reduced to his wounds, who everyone had given up on. She stepped closer. I took your case because I needed to, prove I could still help someone. Still matter. But I stayed because I fell in love with you, Min-jae. With your strength and your vulnerability and your terrible humor and the way you look at me like I'm precious. You are precious, he said roughly. And so are you, But you have to believe that. Not because you're powerful or feared or fixed, but because you're you. She pulled something from her pocket, the neural stimulator. You asked me once if I could test it, if you were really healing. She set the device on the table. I don't need technology to answer that anymore. What do you need? Your truth. Do you trust me, Minjai? Do you believe that what we have is real? That I'm not here to use you or betray you or break you? Her voice cracked. Because I can't stay if you'll always doubt me. I won't survive that. Minjae crossed the distance between them in 2 strides. His hands framed her face, tilting it up to his. I was terrified, he confessed, of caring this much, of needing someone this desperately, of giving you the power to destroy me. He kissed her forehead. But Zelda, you already have that power. You've had it since the moment you told me I wasn't broken. You're not, she whispered. Neither are you. His thumbs wiped her tears. And I don't need a device to know I'm healing. I feel it every time you walk into a room, every time you say my name, every time you look at me like I'm worth saving. You are worth saving. Then save me. His forehead pressed to hers. Stay, heal with me, love me, build something real with me. Yes, she breathed. Yes, yes, yes. When he kissed her this time, it wasn't tentative or careful. It was claiming, promising, forever. And for the first time in 3 months, Minjae felt something he thought he'd lost. Not just desire, hope. What did you think of Minjae and Zelda's journey? Have you ever felt broken only to find healing in unexpected places? Drop a comment below with your thoughts, and don't forget to like this video if this story touched your heart. Subscribe for more emotional stories that will make you believe in love again. See you in the next one.